In the beginning, God created. With the first 5 words of the Bible, God chooses to introduce himself as creator. The creator of light and physics, of mass and matter, of dust and bone, of biology and botany. Out of nothing, he created everything we know. Then he awakens us, humankind, with a breath, and invites us to experience it. In the midst of this creation story, Paul, in his letter to Colossians, reminds us the Son is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of all creation. For in him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or powers or rulers or authorities, all things have been created through him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together. God the Father, Son and Spirit created the universes. And then in a bold, unforeseen move, the painter painted himself into the painting. The writer became a character in his own story, or as John's Gospel in the first chapter puts it, the Word became flesh and blood and moved into our neighbourhood. This week we're thinking about creativity, innovation, expression, creation. Within his human life, Jesus continued to do what he'd been doing with his Father and with the Spirit since that Genesis moment. He continued to express life, love and hope creatively. When he taught, he didn't just set out a list of objectives or of slogans. He told odd little stories that embraced complexity and engaged the heart, stories of widows and pearls and sheep. When he prayed, he almost seemed to resist repetition. He prayed with joy, he prayed with tears, he prayed with sweat, he prayed in silence, he prayed with words, he prayed alone, he prayed with others, he prayed with mud, he prayed with spit. And in so many ways I'm sure we never even hear of. You ever wondered why Jesus was so creative, so diverse, so various in the ways he prayed? Wouldn't he just want to hit on the perfect ministry model and just keep repeating it? The Creator God who created creativity, in whose image we are made, invites us to create, to try variety, to express, to experiment, not just in conversation with him, but in all aspects of our life. Saint Hildegard was a woman who lived in the 12th century. When she turned 18 years old, she decided to dedicate her life to following Jesus. She embraced a monastic life and became a nun. In a time when, in that society, women's voices were rarely heard, Hildegard had influence. She had an incredible voice through poetic writings and musical compositions. She seemed prolific. She would write and comment on things as diverse as medicine, the environment, as well as theology and how we live out the gospel. She wasn't afraid to use her natural creativity to engage hearts and minds, and in doing that, she influenced many. A more recent saint who's impacted me is C.S. Lewis. He has written some beautiful children's stories that are both simple but profound. Stories that have captured truths about God and his nature that theologians can only dream of. C.S. Lewis says this about God. God is not a static thing, but a dynamic, pulsating activity, almost a kind of drama, almost a kind of dance. Sometimes the Creator God is best expressed through creative expression, creative reflection. Art that engages not just our minds, but our hearts and our souls. That reminds us we're human beings, not just human doings, that wait and be still, that reflect on God, that are inspired to awe again, to wonder and to worship. Hildegard and Lewis, I think they grasped this. They knew there was something about the creative arts that captured mystery without the burden of certainty. We are all made in the image of God. Creativity, innovation, it's in our nature. But it's not just for the creatives. It's for students and plumbers, teachers and parents. We all just express it in a different way. We express creativity in the way we work, the way we communicate, the way we problem solve, the way we make friends, the way we parent, the way we talk to God. Creativity includes but is so much broader than the arts. Perhaps embracing and exploring our own creativity is a key to freshness, newness in our own lives, a way to combat atrophy in our daily grind. This Lent, we've been reflecting on our own lives and our walk following Jesus. Could creativity be a tool to freshen and wake up parts of our faith that have become stale? Are there ways that you've become accustomed to praying and worshipping and engaging with the Bible that have become so familiar that they've lost that ability to give you the wonder and awe of God? How could we recapture that wonder as we approach Easter? Each day this week, why don't you invite the Holy Spirit to breathe adventure into the most mundane of tasks, to help you approach the way you live each day with fresh creativity. Try something new with Jesus. Walk through a gallery inviting his presence and his conversation. Paint a picture, write a song, compose a poem. Get up early and watch the sunrise. Prepare and enjoy gratefully a meal with friends. And each night as you pray the Examen, reflect, did any of those activities, those new and fresh approaches, did any of them make you more aware of God's presence? Did any of them reveal something new to you in wonder and awe of God? As you explore your creativity this week, my prayer for you is that you know that you are not just a number. You are not your job, you are not your role, you are not your grades. You are a unique work of art, infinitely valuable. You are created by the most famous artist this universe has ever known. The God who paints in solar systems, in the broad sweep of history and in each and every life. Our prayers, our songs, our kindness, our courage adds our harmony to the melody that God began in Eden. And it will continue until its crescendo, when Jesus unshackles physics and reminds biology of its potential. In the next great movement of this piece, the masterpiece of creation made new. How do you reflect the Creator God? How could creativity serve you to bring a new freshness to your following of Jesus? This week, try something new. Experiment. Pray in the Spirit. Enjoy God.